Welcome, one and all, in here, out there, all around the world to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Ladies and gentlemen, we are, what is this now? How many days? 16. We are now 16 days into Donald Trump's second term, and day after day, it is exactly what you thought, but worse than you could have imagined. The crazy is coming fast and furious, and the furious is coming crazy and fast. He and his tech bro shock troops are violating so many laws and norms that it's hard to know when something outrageous he says or does is an atrocity or just a shiny distraction. Or maybe a shiny atrocity. Like yesterday, when Trump met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. First, the old buddies spoke to reporters in the Oval Office, and then they held a joint press conference where Trump said this.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.
Ah! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was just so shocking. It made me put a wig on. I was hoping it would block out the crazy. What the hell do you mean we'll take over Gaza?
We will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
Oh, great idea. All these years, I don't know why no one else thought to call shotgun on the Holy Land. And once we, and he's not clear on who we is, own it, you'll never guess what this luxury real estate developer wants to do with it. Jim, shock us.
We're going to take over that piece and we're going to develop it. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. The Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
Yes, the Riviera of the Middle East, the Cancun of crises, the sandals of sadness, the Carnival Cruise of war crime. Now, you might be asking, what about the Palestinians who live there? Well, don't worry. Or do. If you have a shred of humanity, because Trump does not. When asked how many Palestinians would have to be displaced for his luxury real estate development, he said this.
All of them. I mean, we're talking about probably 1.7 million people, 1.7 million, maybe 1.8 million, but I think all of them.
You're going to forcibly relocate almost 2 million people, half of whom are children. How many of our moral principles would America have to violate to support this?
All of them.
Okay, there you go. So, while you were wondering. So after the new and improved Trail of Tears, who's going to live in these haunted honeymoon suites?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people.
World people? The world's people? Is he confusing Gaza with Epcot? I envision world people living there, a little Dutch boy in wooden shoes, hanging out with his best friend and neighbor, Goofy in a kimono, and the world people will gather every night for a laser light parade. That's why they call the Middle East the happiest place on earth. Now, if this all makes your head explode, I'm glad to hear it. And you're not alone. This is an actual picture of Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, when she realized that Trump was pitching the upside of ethnic cleansing. There you go. Wow. That's the face of a woman hoping she gets bumped up to first class on the flight to Nuremberg. Or possibly the face of a woman realizing she took her pot gummies instead of her Centrum Silver. Anyone who isn't currently employed by Donald Trump knows this is beyond insane, which is why Republicans took such a brave stance, with Senator John Cornyn saying, I don't know what to make of it. Check back with me tomorrow. That's a good idea. Yes, because when history calls, you stall. As Patrick Henry said, give me liberty or give me 24 hours. The British are making some really good points. Now, there might be more than one problem. Patrick Henry. Thank you for your service, Patrick Henry. There might be one more problem with Trump's plan to have the United States government take over Gaza. He's firing everyone in the United States government. Last week, an email was sent to federal workers offering them a buyout if they resign. The message was titled, Fork in the Road. Better than the original subject line, "You are completely forked." The email originally excluded people who work in intelligence because they're critical to national security. But yesterday, the CIA sent a buyout offer to their entire workforce. I guess that's a wrap on the CIA. Let us now bid a fond farewell to some of their finest work. And it's not just the CIA being purged, because the FBI just turned over details of 5,000 employees who worked on January 6 cases, leading to fears that they could be terminated by the Trump administration. At this rate, the only federal agents left are going to be on CBS's FBI, FBI Most Wanted, FBI International, and FBI True Real Agents Untold Stories. And CBS has repeatedly begged the agents to tell those stories. Honestly, it would be a better show if they did. Right now, it's just guys going, "Nope." I said no. You know who else is messing up? Don Jr. Because Don's been accused of killing a protected duck while on a hunt in Italy. The rare duck in question is an endangered species known as the ruddy shell duck. The beautiful, deep orange plumage with a touch of pale white around the eyes. Why would Don Jr. have such hostile feelings about that duck? Oh my God! How do we know? How do we know that Don Jr. shot this rare bird? Because he confessed to it on video. There's actually a lot of that video, and all of it's pretty dumb. I made this fort to hide from the ducks. They can't get me in here. And now all this stale bread is mine. Italian lawmakers are furious about Don Jr. killing endangered ducks, saying it's morally despicable. Of course, it sounds so much more beautiful when the Italians say it.
You're despicable.
Now, thankfully, not everything in the news is about Donald Trump's insanity. Every day, we here at The Late Show get email from our incredible research department. And down at the bottom of today's little breakdown, they put stories that are getting a little less attention. Today, I scrolled all the way down and saw these two smaller news items back to back. Temperatures at the North Pole are 20 degrees Celsius above average beyond the ice's melting point, and Uncle O'Grimacy has returned to McDonald's. Oh my God, the scientists tried to warn us. Uncle O'Grimacy is back. Who is Uncle O'Grimacy? Come with me, children, to a magical land known as 1978.
Hello, boys, I'm back, and I'm painting everything green to match me shamrock shakes.
I miss the 1970s, back when the Happy Meal was 4 lead paint chips and a packet of Lucky Strikes. After that, so he was introduced in 78? Is that where he started? He started in 78. So he's introduced in 78. After that, Uncle O'Grimacy disappeared for decades after the McDonald's marketing team was targeted by the IRA. But now he's back. McDonald's did the big reveal by showing Grimace finding his beloved uncle on Ancestry.com. Wow. So moving. He also found a previously unknown half-brother, Kyle. Of course, like all estranged uncles, Uncle Grimacy is back to promote his signature drink, the Shamrock Shake. Here you go. Woo. Tile grout with just a hint of urinal cake. Now, you might be asking, Steve, how can you spend so much time on this when Trump and Musk are picking our government apart like raccoons on a rotisserie chicken? Well, my response is, Uncle O'Grimacy resides on a small island off the coast of Ireland called Shamrock, where he spends his time going on nature walks, bowling in his local league, and attending the Shamrock Street Fair and Music Festival. He plays the bagpipe. Shamrock? Bagpipe? You racists. As an Irish American, I will not stand for these inaccurate stereotypes. Them's fighting words. Here's me punching pipe. Let's go. Come at me. Come on. But you're right. Our democracy is under dire threat, and we all need to focus on what is most important. Uncle Grimacy's favorite color is green. His nickname is Uncle O, and for all those who are wondering, he's a Pisces. And you know what that means? If you're a Scorpio, you could have incredible physical chemistry with Uncle O Grimacy if you can figure out where his sex organs are. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Damon Wayans Jr. and Chef Danielle Malone. But when we come back, my wife Emmy and I have some first drafts of Valentine's Day cards. It's gonna get spicy.